Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and I want to welcome you tonight. It is Thursday, August 29th, 2024. It's so hard to believe that September starts soon. I see somebody's already given me a thumbs up, so I know that you can hear me. I'm out on YouTube. I'm having issues. I can't get it to Facebook at the same time. I don't think I have enough bandwidth. Anyway, I'm gonna get started because I don't really have much to say. No, I'm just kidding. I know that there's been a lot of announcements with Stampin' Up. There's a holiday mini catalog coming out in September 4th. There's their scrapbooking line that's coming out. Hopefully, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments section. I can answer them because I can see them live. And hey, Karen. Hey, Deb. Cool. But if you have any questions, let me know. And otherwise, I'm just going to get started. I'm going to show a couple techniques. Hey, Diana, I'm glad you made it. Tonight, using some of the news products in the holiday mini catalog. Hey, Janet, which is actually, they call it now the September to December mini catalog. So those are the dates that it's available. Hey, Marie. So I'm going to flip my camera. I've got some cards to show you first before I get started. Hey, Linda. Cool. How's everybody tonight? It is really warm here right now, but I will tell you, this morning when I woke up, it was cold. It was in the 40s. But this evening, it's warmer, and I probably should have opened up my house during the day. Hey, Joan. All right, I'm going to flip my camera so we can go ahead and get started. As you can see, I was just doing a little bit of stamping. One of the techniques I'm going to show tonight. And it's a messy technique, so it'll be fun. Anyway, I got this card this week from my upline for Stampin' Up, and I loved it because it really shows that monochromatic look that we talked about last week. Look at all the colors they used, though. I mean, they used Mossy Meadow, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive. What's that one? Seafoam. Lots of greens, and I just love. I kind of wanted to show. I don't have this set, and I'm refusing to buy it. I don't need another one. Oh, Diana, it was hot there. Where they took I'm sure it's a blends, and just colored and outlined that a little bit, just to give it a little bit of pop. I love that. And I love the embossing folder. I do love this set, I have to say, but I'm not getting it. I keep telling myself I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. All right, and then this was a card that I did this weekend. I did an online class using the Layers of Beauty stamp set and doing a lot with the sponge daubers, and I just loved this one, how that turned out in the balmy blue, and then this one in the Highland Heather, which actually weren't a part of the class, but I added a couple things to it. So I love those two cards. They turned out great. All right, so this month, my tutorial this month uses the Winterly Treetops, and if you place an order with me, you will get a tutorial for the cards that I made for the tutorial this month. There's 6 of them. If your order is over $50, you will get the products, the paper, the cardstock, and all the embellishments and everything to make the 6 cards. So this is the Nest of Winter card designer series paper. It's coming out in the next mini catalog, which like I said is available September 4th. It's beautiful paper. If you don't like birds, the back sides are gorgeous for winter cards. I'll quickly show you the cards from my tutorial. I just love them. I love every one of them. I think they turned out cute. That one and that one. And this is one of the dies in that set, which is a frame. Oh, here, I'll show this one. Really simple cards, actually. And then this is just a die where I cut 2. One in basic white and one in garden green, and then I just flipped one. So it showed through. And then in the background is a new texture embossing folder that we're getting, which is really nice. All right. I know I went through that quickly. So there'll be a new tutorial come September 1st. I just want to mention, don't forget, if you placed an order last month and have a coupon for $5 off your order, place an order because you can use it So, and then the sale this month is the designer series paper in the big catalog. It's 15% off. And then I'm still doing some summer Stampin' Fun. So we will draw for that later. This is actually the last couple days. Everybody's got such hot weather but us, but that's typical. Actually, the western side of the state got snow. So we didn't get that. But it's not unusual for it to snow in August. All right, so I'm going to use this Carrying Leaves stamp set. I don't know if you guys, hopefully you've gotten your mini catalog. If you haven't, and you don't have another demonstrator and you want one, send me an email, Diane@DDStamps.com, and I will get one out to you. There's a lot of fun stuff in there. Sometimes the stamp sets in the back get lost, but I loved this Carrying Leaves. I liked the Some Things Never Change sentiment, and I also like You're Simply the Best sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one tonight. It's actually a very simple set, which simple sometimes is best. All right, but I'm going to show techniques with it. So it's going to be a little bit different. I am going to bring the screen down a little bit. I want you to see this a little better. There we go. I think my laptop must be dirty. It looks like I have smudges on my cardstock till I move it there, and then it doesn't. So I have a feeling the little puppy has put her nose into it. All right, I'm going to use baby wipes tonight. So I've had these baby wipes around here for a while now and been wanting to do this technique. And there's something about the fall that makes me like to go back to this technique. I don't know what it is, but it always works so good with fall leaf stamps. But it works good with anything. So I just fold it up. It's a wet baby wipe. That's all it is. And then I'm going to just put this, I put this down here just so that I didn't get my mat completely wet from that baby wipe. I just wanted to keep that not getting wet. So we're going to use this a couple different techniques with baby wipes. The first one I'm going to do is just some stamping. And so I'm going to use 4 colors. So I've got Daffodil Delight, Real Red, Cajun Craze, and Old Olive. And those are all colors that are in the Regals family. And I'm just going to drop a droplet of re-inker onto that baby wipe. And then a little Real Red. And if I put the red by the yellow, if they blend together, it'll be fine because it'll look orange. Because red and yellow make orange. So then I'm going to bring in a little Cajun Craze. And the only thing you have to be careful of is I am going to use some old olive. And anytime that you add green to colors, this many colors, you could get mud. But anyway, there's my ink pad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put one of these stamps on my block here and ink it up. And I can move it around a little bit and then put it down on my paper. And it's really light. And I think that's because I think what's happening is the ink went all the way through. We're just going to open this up a little bit. See if we get a better image with this one. One of the problems with living in the state of Montana is it's so dry here and things dry out very quickly. Anyway, so there's just some leaves that I painted. And now I kind of want to make them stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to I can take I have a aqua painter, which is just a paintbrush with water in the tube. And if I go over where this ink is, I can blend that together and that color and that image begins to pop. Get a little bit more, gets darker, kind of blends together. So you can use an aqua painter. And I'm just using basic white cardstock. I kind of felt like watercolor paper might be too, I don't know. I didn't know if I would get a good image. I'm going to use watercolor paper on something else. So Anyway, I'm just kind of blending those colors, and that blending, and if I wanted to, I could actually pick up color and take it. See how that turns brown? That's because I hit that mix of green and brown. It doesn't look so good. Doesn't look as good as my sample did when I was making it. All right. So the next thing that I would do with this is I would come in with the image, the line image of this stamp, and somewhere I have Cajun Craze on my desk. Here we go. I'm going to ink that up and stamp these down so my leaves get a little definition to them. I am not sure. Oh, there, I must have stamped it that way. So anyway, that's how you get some watercolor. So on this one, this is what I did last night. And what I did last night is I only had a single layer of baby wipe that I put ink on. And you can see where I got a much darker image. I think it's just really dry tonight. Everything's drying out. And on this one, I actually, instead of using a aqua painter, I used my Wink Estella. And so you can see where my leaves have that shine. So it's really cool. You can also use a blender pen. I'm going to flip this over. Give me another block. Just a second. Let me get a block. You know what I think happened is I'm hitting the sour cream container. That's what the issue was. It's still not very dark. It got very dark there, though. That's what I was trying to avoid. Yeah, it's just getting darker or lighter. So anyway, ink fast. And actually, once you put the water onto it, it makes it a little bit brighter. All right. I have another technique, which I like a lot better. All right, so this technique that I'm going to do, I'm going to use watercolor paper this time, and I'm going to use a baby wipe. So I'm just taking this baby wipe and I'm kind of folding it back into itself, just like I did last time. And put that on there just so that I don't get ink everywhere because my hands are already getting full of ink. All right, so I'm going to use the same colors. And I'm going to do a line of crushed curry, a line of real red. I'm going to be so inked up by the end of the night. Cajun Craze. And Old Olive. So I just did some stripes, and then I'm going to pick up this baby wipe. I'm going to fold it back on itself. And then, this is watercolor paper, and I'm just going to take it and drag it across my paper. And then drag it across my paper. This is so much lighter than the one that I did about half hour ago. But you're going to see how fast this dries. Now, in Minnesota, this will not dry this fast. I'll take it to the end. But you can just see where you get that bold, bold, bold color onto your watercolor paper. We're going to let that sit for a minute. And then I'm going to, I wanted to use this checked ribbon with this. but I'm going to use old olive cardstock and a layer of white. And if you look at the ribbon, it's actually got like a vanilla tone to it, which isn't terrible. However, I want to get my ribbon to coordinate. And so I'm going to go ahead with this check. I'm just going to cut off a couple pieces. And you can change your ribbon to whatever color you want. You can use a blends or you can use a regular marker. I just use blends because they dry quickly. And I can change this check into a Daffodil Delight checked ribbon. And like I said, when the blends hit that ribbon, it only takes a few seconds and it's dry. If you're using a regular marker or a Sharpie, well, Sharpie probably dries fairly quickly because they're alcohol. A regular marker might take a little bit longer, so you just want to let it set for a minute. But you could change that black and white, look at my fingers, black and white checked ribbon into any color that you like. All right. This is still wet. But I'm kind of surprised because, like I said, mine dried quickly earlier. I'm going to plug in my heat gun and just hit it quickly with some heat. Because I want to stamp on this. There we go. So you really do want to make sure that when you're stamping on it, it's dry. I'm going to use Memento, and I could have used any color. I could have used, let me grab a cleaner. I got to clean these stamps. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Lynn. Oh, I'm going to scoot. Let me. I was just looking to see if there was questions, but everybody's talking about their weather. Yeah, I couldn't believe when I woke up this morning and it was cold here, but up in the northern part of the state, they got snow on the ground, which, like I said, is not unusual for Red Lodge to have snow this early. All right, so I'm just going to take this leaf image, and it's just the border of it, and just stamp this. Going up that way. And then I'm going to take what is considered the inside of that leaf. And this is an interesting stamp. So this stamp, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like little, it's not a full solid image. It's got like a pattern in it. So I'm going to ink that up and hope that this, no, I know what it looks like because I already looked. So because this stamp is not solid, those colors come through those leaves. It's just very different. All right. Let's put the cover on that. Now I'm going to take my, one of the things I have noticed when I use blends on ribbon, it makes it stiffer, which is fine. I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of this because this piece of ribbon is actually going to go right across the front of this card. Like I said, you could use any color marker, whatever ribbon you need. That's why I like the white ribbons, and I like this ribbon, anything that can be changed. And then I'm just going to take this piece and tie it once in a knot. And again, I tie my knots, I hold down the one tail and just pull one tail, and then you get a nice flat knot. This is a really flat knot. This one would mail, and nobody would even be the wiser that it had a bump in it. It doesn't have a bump at all. So I'll trim off my ribbon. I wonder what this would have looked like with red ribbon. I bet it would have been pretty. And then I'm going to take a piece of white. I'm going to trim this just a bit. This part right here seems to be, my frame's not even. So let me grab my cutter. It's just a really different look. So you could do this with, you know, blues, do snowflakes. You could do it with anything. It's so bright and I mean, it's just wow. It's really got a pop to it. And then, do I want to use this cardstock? Yeah, we'll use this one. What the heck? So this is Cajun Craze, which was one of the colors that I used. Add some adhesive. Place it on there. And you get this really awesome card. Now this is the one I made earlier. Same technique. Just done with old olive as the background, but I did the ribbon exactly the same. And I actually used both. Now this one is light enough. This one was really dark. I must have had a lot of re-inker on this one because it really turned out dark. But I did it and then I walked away because I needed it to dry. So yeah, you're going to get a different look depending on whatever you're doing. So I wanted to try something and I'm going to do it without having done it. Yeah, that was the look I was going for, Sylvie, was the leaves blowing in the wind. Now, if I take my aqua painter, I'm going to splash some water on this and see what happens. I think when the water hits this ink, it's going to spread a little bit and give it a little bit of texture. So we're going to try it. So I'm going to take my water painter and I'm just using the little end of it. I don't know if I even have enough water on it to, oh, there we go. We'll drop some on there. Maybe I'll put some in my hand and then drop it on there. Oops. Anytime I'm stamping it, I hear oops. All right, so I've got some water on there and I can just let it dry on its own, or I can take a piece of paper towel or a Kleenex or whatever you have handy. I'm going to lay it on there and pick up those dots. And all it does is just adds a little bit more texture to your card. You see where the water hit here? But it's really a cool look. So it's, you know, just play with your stamps and see what they can do. I actually want more. Ooh, those are big drops. Those are some big drops. We'll let them sit for a while and then we'll pick them up. Yeah, I like it. I like it's here. And as this dries, that ink will continue to spread back. Anyway, that's a fun look. I'm going to do it to this one now. I seem to be getting more water on my surface here then. I'm going to let that one sit for a while. That's a cool one right there. I think I'm just going to set it aside. We'll go back to it. We'll let it dry and see what happens. So anyway, play with your stamps and do lots of fun things. There's lots of things you can do with baby wipes. I do love that swirl of that color. All right, I have another card. So I don't know if you've been following me, but I did do a video last night. I got it up on my Facebook, walking through the, Joan, it's just, I mean, I do have a mess on my fingers. I did a video last night on the scrapbooking products that Stampin' Up! Has coming out September 4th. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link it in this video later tonight. But it's on my website, it's on my website, and it's also on my YouTube channel. So that Stampin' Up! Has a lot of, well, it's a brochure, and it's only going to be digital because it's very quick turnaround on this product. So when Close to My Heart closed, Stampin' Up! Brought many of the makers, almost all of them, came over and promised them that they would do some of the stuff that Close to My Heart had done, and they bought the copyrights for that. And so they came out with this brochure. They just unveiled it to the demonstrators this week, and it will be those products will be available on September 4th. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a live like this on a Thursday night. I have dates scheduled in October, November, December. No, September, October, November, December, and walk people through those kits and how to do them. They're very easy. The instructions kind of look complicated to begin with, but I think once you watch somebody or gone through it with somebody, you'll know it'll make sense. It's not hard. But like the first one I'm going to do is one for autumn, and you can either have the kit with you and work with it while I'm doing it. We can do it together, or you can just watch and see what it's all about. Doesn't matter to me. But anyway, so that's going to happen next week. And then the holiday mini catalog goes live the same day. And some of the stuff that's in the scrapbooking coordinates with some of the stuff that's in the holiday mini catalog. And oh my gosh, it's just craziness. All right, I'm pulling this up here. These spots. I might have waited a little too long. No, it's fine. I like it. You can see where the spots are. I probably will do a few more. I do like the look of it though. Kind of fun. Anyway, there's lots of stuff going to be happening, and I will have emails going out next week. I'm actually going to be out of town starting on the 4th, but there'll be videos, there'll be things to watch. I did a catalog walkthrough, I did some tutorials, so you'll be fine. Joan, I love those kits. I'm really excited. So when I first started as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I was a scrapbooker. So I'm excited. All right, we're going to change to a different stamp set now. We are going to bring in this stamp set, which is in the holiday mini catalog, More Than Autumn. And this one has, oh my goodness, the dies are ridiculous. So you get dies for, I should have cut them out, the coffee cup, the whipped cream, all of the gingerbread heart, apple, donut, pie. And then this has tons of sayings in it. But then you have these dies that cut out. This one says pumpkin. This one says hot, spice, apple. Nothing's better than latte, coffee, cocoa, season. All these words. And then a leaf that you can just cut out. So I'm going to show a couple things with that. I do have a class for this particular set lined up for September. It'll be towards the end of September. So I did a class, my Layers of Beauty class last weekend, and it worked out great. It was done on Zoom, so anybody that participated could talk. We could talk to each other. We could see each other, and they could see me demonstrating. So that's kind of how I'm going to do this More Than Autumn class that I'm going to do. And I'll show you a couple of the projects in the class. So this is going to be a very, very simple card. But what I wanted to show was, just because it's an autumn thing, it doesn't have to be necessarily an autumn card. So I'm coming in with some Melon Mambo and one of my inking brushes. And you can use a brush, you could use a dauber. You could use anything that you want to put ink on. So I'm going to actually put some off because I want this to be really light. Just want a light Melon Mambo here. I just want, like I said, I just want a light shadow. All right, and then I'm going to take, let me find some scrap paper here. This will work. I'm going to take 2 stamps. I've got them on a block here. So I've got the donut and the coffee cup on the block. And I'm going to ink them up with Memento. And I can put 2 on a piece of paper. I can put as many of these as you want on a block. I'm actually going to cut these out, but I just put them on at the same time because it was going to save me, 30 seconds, if even that. All right, so I'm using pecan pie, melon mambo, and pecan pie light and dark. And what I want to do is I want to show you how to make this coffee cup look like it's curved. So I'm taking the dark pecan pie and I'm just starting down the edge of this side. And you don't really want it to be a straight line. And then you're going to go on this side, do the same thing. Just towards the middle. And then I'm going to take the light pecan pie and I'm going to go right over the top of that, only out farther. And do the same thing on this side. And so what I'm doing is I'm giving it a circular look to it. So the middle of this will be lighter than the rest of it. So once I've done that, I'm going to come back in with my light pumpkin or my light pecan pie, and I'm actually going to take it all the way across. And as this dries, it will blend better. So your blends take a little while to dry, and as they're drying, that ink is still blending. But you can see where you get that highlight in the middle that's lighter. So it looks like the sun is hitting it from this side. Now I'm going to take this light pecan and I'm just going to color my donut. And the donut is just the very edge of this. So I'm not going to do a lot of shading because there's not a lot of donut to shade. And I'm probably not going to do any shading on the frosting. I'm just going to use the light melon mambo, which is the same as the ink color I used. I wanted to go with a color that was totally not autumn. So that's why I pulled out melon mambo. Because it is totally not autumn, but it looks totally like a birthday card. Or just a card because we want to brighten up somebody's day. So I'm coloring this. I'm just coloring this frosting. I'm not shading it. I just wanted to color it one color. I love the blends because you don't have any lines when you get it all filled in. So once I've done that, I'm going to come in with my dies. And again, I'm using the Post-it note paper. And then on the donut die, sometimes it takes a little bit. You have to kind of have to look at your image and look at this and see there's a bump here and there's a bump here. So they go across from each other. And then you can line that up perfect. So there's that. I'm going to run this through the Big Shot. But before I do that, I'm going to take a couple of sheets. Let's see. Well, this one, I'm going to use espresso. And I called that one a latte, so I'm going to do the coffee die, which look at how cute and little that one is. They're so cute. I'll do that one in Memento, and I'll do the heart. And melon mambo. Let me grab a scrap. So I'm going to take these all to my Big Shot and get them cut out. Probably easiest if I just cut this one first and then bring those over. All right. There's that one. These dies are so little. So a gal, dang, I should have looked up her name. If you're on here, let people know. So this is actually a mechanics tool. It's magnetic. And if you're working with dies and you can put this at your table, it's not as big as it looks in the camera, but if you throw them, it's magnetic. So all of your little dies, you could toss them in there and you're not going to lose them. I don't know about you, but I am constantly looking for my dies, which are all over my desk, buried. And if I would start using that I got, that magnetic thing, I would not have an issue and would be able to find my dies immediately. I have, at this point, I have one die. It's a label die. That must have, the only thing I can think is it got put away with the wrong die set. I have searched, I can't find it. I need to sit down and go through all of my dies and see which ones have an extra one in them. All right, so I did a heart, and I did that coffee. There's that. I'm going to bring in my take your pick tool, because as you can see, this coffee one is really stuck in there. And so I can just use that tool and pull that out. And I got that cute little coffee. Punch that heart out and put those up there so I don't lose them. And then here's my donut. Here's my cup of coffee. All right, now let me grab some adhesive. There we go. All right. First off, I should shut this because otherwise I'm going to end up with Melon Mambo ink in the middle of my, I mean, it's bad enough my hands are full of ink. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my coffee cup and I think I'll stamp this first. So I actually put the sentiment on the other side of this stamp because I was making a few of these. And so that's kind of sometimes how I set my stamps up. You know, I could stamp this several times to cut out. And then I was using this sentiment, so I just stuck it on the back. So. There. I love you more than, which means a lot if it's coffee and donuts. I'm going to add my little coffee cup. I'm going to trim some of these side ones for this donut. Don't forget to use all your dimensionals on your sheets. Put some dimensionals on my donut. Lay that on there. I think I'll do a dimensional on the heart. I just cut a little bit of a dimensional and I'm going to stick it on the back of this heart. I'm going to put that on there. Put that lower. And then I'm going to add this. So I'm going to use green glue. And you barely touch it. You don't want that green glue to come gushing out. Now, if I wanted to, we do have adhesive that you could attach the espresso cardstock to, and then it's like a sticker. You could use that. That would work. Add my little coffee cup. So there is just a really cute card that's not necessarily autumn. Could be for any. This set can be used. This set is awesome. You can be used this more than autumn can be used for lots of things. Now I'm going to take the Wink of Stella because I like things with glitter on them, and I'm going to add glitter onto my heart and my donut. Just gives it a glossy, glittery look. And there is a super cute card, pretty easy. Let me show you a couple of the other projects that I'm doing for class. So this is one totally autumn. Nothing better than pumpkin season. And I put lots of Wink of Stella. I don't know if you can see it, but there's lots of Wink of Stella on there and some gems. And then this one, this was cute. This is a little box that a demonstrator showed us how to make, and it actually holds, it says you had me at donuts. It actually holds a Kit Kat bar. And I just noticed at our Family Dollar here in town, they have donut flavored Kit Kats, which I'm not sure why anybody would eat them. Because the Kit Kat, you just eat the Kit Kat. But it's going to be adorable when I get that donut Kit Kat in here. So that's going to be part of the class. And yes, you will get a donut Kit Kat. This one, it's kind of Christmassy. I use the iconic paper iconic. I should test you guys. What's it called? Iconic Celebration. So it's this 6x6 paper here. It's online exclusive, but it's got like Christmas, fall, birthday, lots of stuff. But wait, so this here is using some of the blue papers, and you open it up, and it actually will hold a gift card in there. So that was kind of cute. I've got a couple that are going to be packets. So like this one's going to hold a packet of hot chocolate that you're just going to tuck inside into that envelope, tuck inside there. I haven't bought it yet because I couldn't bring myself to go to the store and buy hot chocolate. And then this one is very fall color. So those are just some of the things I'm doing in that class. I will be posting that up probably next week. It's hard to believe, but maybe when I get back to, I might wait because there's so much going on next week. So anyway, what do you think? Where's that other card? Here it is. I might have got too many spots on that one. However, you can always add more anchor. So I love the look of those. Now, the one that I showed, here, this one. I'm not really fond of the one that I showed you tonight, but this is the exact same technique. Only I used Wink of Stella and obviously more inker. So, all right. There you have it. I know it was a short night, but got them all done. If anybody has any questions, now's the time to ask. Like I said, if you haven't got a holiday mini, let me know. Send me an email, let me know. Everything goes on, starts this, the products is available starting September 4th. The scrapbooking products are as supplies last, and Stampin' Up! Is kind of going to gauge next week how things are going. And they said if things are selling faster than they had planned, they'll order more. So thanks, Marie. All right, last thing we got to do is draw. So remember to put a comment in because I will send you a gift. We have got Leslie Jones is our winner. Yay, Leslie. I will make sure that Leslie gets a packet of goodies and a card that I made tonight. So, all right, Jana, so do you think the re-inker baby wipe technique would work better if the baby wipes were laying on a glass plate? Yes, absolutely. You're right, Jana. That's why I brought this piece of plastic, which I thought should have worked like a glass plate. However, I think part of the problem is when I guess I threw them away. But when I fold up those baby wipes, they're so thick. There's like 4 or 5 layers, and you don't need that much. You know, if I had a bigger plate or glass, you know, so the baby wipe was out farther. I think I had the baby wipe too cushioned, so that ink just soaked all the way through it. But that works good for this card. Or this card. You know, it gives a lot of ink to it. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to try it again. Sorry. You could miss the ink wipe if it's too dry. Yeah, I'm going to tell you though, my problem here in Montana is my baby wipes are wet. When I pulled them out of here. What I probably should do is let them sit out for a few minutes because we have no humidity, and make them a little bit drier. So yeah, if you live in a place with a lot of humidity or that doesn't have a lot of humidity, that's very dry and things dry out, just add water. That will help. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, if nobody has any more questions, I will be sending out emails this week. I'm going to do some videos using some of the other products from the mini. This was another one of my favorites here. It's so cute. Christmas Friends. I love the moose. So we've had moose in the neighborhood, you know, because it's that time of year. So there's like a moose with 2 calves. Anyway, if nobody has any more questions, I'm going to say good night. Take care. I will not be live next week. I should have told you that earlier. I'm going to be out of town. So I will be back on the 12th. And on the 12th, I'll have all new fun stuff to show you. Because by that time, I'll have gotten my order. So thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night. We'll speak with you soon. Bye.